Hello, Holistic Chamber of Commerce family. Welcome to today's member spotlight. I have with me today Linda Procopio. I pronounced it correctly on the first time. And Linda's going to be talking about knowing your blood chemistry and how this correlates to losing weight and keeping the weight off. So before we get into the conversation, just a brief snippet about Linda. She's a certified nutrition and water consultant who's helped hundreds of clients achieve their goal weight and overcome health challenges. Her specialty is helping those looking to lose weight rapidly and effectively overcome insomnia and manage type 2 diabetes and other health concerns. What makes her different is that she carefully evaluates each of her clients' individual needs and circumstances, and then designs a personalized meal plan based on her metabolic balance approach. It's a very customized program for people who are interested in weight loss. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here today. And for those of you that are joining, thank you for being here.
So why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about yourself, but more importantly, like, why do you do this work?
Absolutely. So prior to doing this work and starting my business, Live Light by Linda, I actually worked in the corporate world. So I was there for 16 years and I was actually helping people lose weight at the office, which was crazy. I didn't realize that was my passion. That was just deep and burning inside me that I felt that I really needed to leave my corporate position as a call center manager and just jump on this opportunity to start my own business to help people with their health goals. I always believed my entire life in that saying by Hippocrates, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. And so I lived by that pretty much my whole life. And I just know that, whatever we put in our body, and including whatever we put on our body, with the skin being the biggest organ, the water we drink, it's also important because that will really affect our health. And we can correct our health issues and prevent them just by being careful with what we consume. So this passion was just brewing inside me, and I had to take the leap of faith and do that and study nutrition, as well as I worked at a weight loss clinic for men while I was studying my nutrition as well. And I became a water consultant too, which we can get into a little bit later too in the conversation. But it was just finding the right pieces that go together with eating right as well as drinking the right water. So it's very important to me. And I raised 3 children, very healthy grandkids. I was a caregiver for my parents. And I think, my dad did have cancer. And when he passed, that's really what pushed me into the direction of doing this. And I want to just help people and their families be healthy.
Now, before we go on, I want you to talk about, because here's the thing, people listen about weight loss. There's so many people out there who want to lose weight. But the second you mention like diet and food, they freak out because they're like, oh my God, I'm going to be eating chicken breasts and broccoli for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. So how do you help get people over that fear of even thinking about, oh, this is something that I want to embark on?
Well, the first step, and that's something that we always talk about when we have our first initial meeting, is mindset. Since, you have to have the right mindset and be in the right mind frame to do any type of program and to follow and to stick with it. And based on our programs being very personalized to each individual, we, talk about what challenges you had in the past, what you've done, that maybe didn't work for you. And this whole, what people have as an image of dieting is, like you said, eating the broccoli and chicken, right? And not being able to enjoy any yummy foods. But we have a program that's very sustainable, and we teach you strategies on how to develop better eating habits and keep the weight off permanently, because you've developed these new habits, and you'll be able to implement these strategies very easily in your life and just live a normal life of being able to have that treat meal and just, knowing that you should have more healthier meals and the treat meals once in a while, if you can just switch it, as opposed to some people have very horrible meals throughout the week
All the
and then
time.
do their dieting a couple days, but it has to just switch. And once you make that switch, you can actually achieve permanent weight loss or even maintaining your weight if that's your goal. And also you can have really delicious meals. And because I actually studied the culinary arts too at George Brown, I have my chef degree. I can actually teach you very delicious recipes that you can make in 15 minutes or less. And it's just having the right ingredients on hand so that, you can make these delicious meals and you don't need to slather everything with sauce and salt and all this other stuff to make it taste good, because I could teach you how to make it taste good with maybe fresh herbs or things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the beauty is, in today's society, we have so many great products that you can substitute, like even for traditional sugar. I'm insulin resistant, so I'm all about finding sweeteners that aren't going to spike blood sugar. And you can, make things that are just as good because we have some really wonderful substitutes out there. So I didn't want anybody to, be freaking out over this. And I love that you talk about mindset, because that is a huge component. Whenever you do any kind of change, if your mindset isn't in the right place, then you tend to self-sabotage.
Absolutely. Yes. And I've read so many books and I've taken some courses on that too. So I'm able to help those that really need that extra help when it comes to just making that shift and just being aware. And that's something that I'll teach you, is just being aware of why you're snacking, maybe when you shouldn't be, what emotion are you feeling when you do reach for that chocolate. And, journaling, I have my clients journal as well, just to be aware that every time, they had a feeling of stress or sadness or whatever it may be, they reach for a snack. So just being aware is the first step to making that change.
Absolutely. So let's talk about results. What kind of results? Because everybody wants to know, what can you do for me? How much can I lose? How fast can I lose it?
Absolutely. Yes. So the program, first of all, before I get into the results, is based on your blood chemistry. So we create these personalized nutrition programs after going for a very comprehensive blood test. So you're looking at your TSH, which is your thyroid. We look at your CRP, which is your inflammation marker in your body, your urate, which is your acidity in the body. We look at your liver numbers, your kidney numbers, cholesterol, iron, potassium, sodium, you name it, everything's checked off. And that's how the nutrition program's created. So along with, of course, going over an extensive intake form where we find out what your weight, height measurements are, age, how much weight you want to lose, etc., what your food likes and dislikes are, and any medication that you might be on that might impact your nutrition. And so after this program's created and you have this personalized program that you're following along with the strategies that I teach you, what you'll the outcome will be, and the results have been weight loss, even weight gain. People have tried to gain weight on the program. They've been very successful. They've achieved, overcoming their being on insulin. I've had a few, diabetic clients over the years that completely got off their medications altogether. The doctor that created this program also was diabetic. He lost 100 pounds and, got off of all of his insulin. Of course, we're talking diabetes type 2. And if you're diagnosed with prediabetes, that's no longer there. That's managed. And, your blood sugars go from, let's say, 12 to like below 6, anywhere between 5 and 6 usually. I've helped people just develop the new eating habits, the mindset change. They've experienced more energy throughout the day. So you never have that afternoon crash, where you just feel tired and you have to have that coffee in the afternoon or some chocolate or some unhealthy snack just to give you that boost of energy. The bloating, the gas, people have gotten rid of that. And just better sleep. I suffered from insomnia myself for many years, and I wish I knew about this program. And, it would have really helped me back in the day, because it all encompasses balancing your hormones. So we have 50 hormones in our body all day long telling us what to do. Very bossy, these hormones, when we're tired, when we're hungry. And the insulin especially is the fat storage hormone. So if that's not balanced, you're going to be storing the fat. Even if you go to the gym for 2 hours every day and you're not losing weight, which I get a very common complaint about that. you're able to lose weight on this program because we balance all of those hormones for you.
A customized approach is so important. I think there's so many like one size fits all, slap it on there, like weight loss programs. And I love that you do the blood work too, because, one person's superfood is another person's poison. And
That's
you
right.
really need to know like what you're working with. And that's the stuff that we can't see. So whenever I get on these calls with people and they talk about, they do the diagnostics, they do the customized approach. It's like, yes, this is the person to work with because just doing a shake because, somebody got good results from it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you.
No.
You really need to understand your body. So I really, respect that in, the work that you're doing with people.
Absolutely. With the shakes and things like that, we want to chew our food and enjoy it and have it satisfy you for at least 5 hours. That's one of the strategies we teach you, is that you really shouldn't be snacking. You should have enough protein, the right amount of carbs with your meals so that you're not snacking throughout the day, because then the insulin will just continue to spike. So if you give that gap of 5 hours between your meals, then your body will have a chance to metabolize the food and that you chewed and didn't just swallow down with a milkshake, really quickly in the morning before getting to work. And then you can even last 6 hours sometimes without having your next meal. And just focus on having those 3 healthy meals throughout the day that are very satisfying too. A lot of my clients tell me, oh my God, I can't eat all this food. So you're not eating birdseed and, 3 almonds or whatever. You're actually eating 3 full meals throughout the day. And we even allow bread with every meal. So, who does that, right? It's rye bread, of course. But, we just don't believe in eliminating food groups, and we want you to have the right amount of protein, and your amount would be different from mine. It's all, based on, again, your blood chemistry and your weight and your current height and age and all of these other factors.
Yeah, that's very similar to the Ayurvedic philosophy. So, I teach yoga, so I'm big into that. But they
Yes.
talk about your body constitution, and you might need more fats versus another one that needs less fat and maybe more like lighter, salad type foods. So it's so important to have that fundamental understanding of what it is exactly you need and what it is exactly that makes you feel good. Because if it doesn't make you feel good, why are you eating it?
That's right. That's right. No, true. I know the same thing goes with the analogy with coffee, right? People have to have like triple coffee because they say it disguises the taste of the coffee. And I'm always saying, why are you drinking coffee then if you don't like the taste of it black, So it's the sugar and the cream and everything that we add to it that makes it unhealthy for us to have, type thing.
Right. For sure. So what does it look like to work with you?
Oh, yes. Well, first thing I do, of course, is send you for your blood work. And, we sit down and go over that intake form, which it helps me really learn all about you, and your medical history we'll discuss, and any medications you're on that might impact your nutrition. We get to know how many, I want to know how many times you're going to the washroom every day, and if you're bloated, if you're constipated. So I really get into your whole health history, and we discuss your goals. Everyone has business goals, and we should also have health goals. And so whether it's to maintain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight, whatever it is, or you just want to get off your medication, we go over that and we make sure that these are the goals that we're going to achieve. Some people just want to get off their cholesterol medication because when you start that, the doctor kind of tells you it's for life. And, then your kidney and, has to work hard to flush that out. And you don't want to have other issues happen. So most people have the goals to get off their medications, if not even reduce it to the smallest dose, or maybe they just want to achieve sleeping better at night and having the energy to play with your grandkids, or not having joint pain. So we talk about living a pain-free life and knowing that you deserve and to go to bed feeling like a 10, and you should wake up feeling like a 10. We shouldn't be living in pain. And when if you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you, well, it's normal to feel that way because you're getting older, that's a bunch of BS. I'm sorry, I have to say. But, so we talk about things like that. And, we have weekly, either by Zoom, or I also do in-person visits if you're not on Zoom, or you're not really tech savvy, you don't like computers, and I also go grocery shopping with my clients because the experience has to start there. Once you have your nutrition program and we review it, it's 30 pages all about you. You'll know exactly how much water you need to drink as well. And we'll go grocery shopping, whether it's virtual, if you're not in the country, if you're not in the GTA. Um, of course, I can't come with you personally, but if you are, we'll pick your favorite store and we'll go and we'll have a whole shopping experience, which is a lot of fun. My clients love that. And I'll teach you so many things about, the yogurts that are on the shelf or the milk that you're buying or the legumes. Maybe you shouldn't be buying them in a can, maybe buy the dried legumes. So, I just teach you little simple tricks like that you can, carry on for a lifetime and implement them for your whole family, and always have the right ingredients on hand. And then I teach you meal prepping as well, because that's also the next key step to maintaining your weight loss is, or just maintaining your weight altogether, is bringing your meals to work, right? So I used to do this in the corporate world where I'd be eating a healthy lunch and everybody's like, oh, wow. And they're spending, $10, $20 on a very unhealthy lunch. And I started making lunches for people at work, like, because they really liked what I was having. And it was like a fraction of the cost. And so, you learn to save money and how to, just take that time, even half hour on a Sunday night, just prep a few meals for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then maybe Wednesday night, do it again. And then on the weekend, if you're home, you can kind of, cook together with your spouse or your family and make it fun. So I really teach you how to enjoy cooking, because a lot of people don't enjoy that either. And it's just because they don't know what to do from the get-go. Like in the grocery store, people are overwhelmed, so there's
It's so overwhelming. And you know what? The labels lie. Like, you can't trust like a box that's like all natural, or it's like, what does that even mean? Or like eggs are the worst. Oh, we feed our chickens 100% vegetarian feed. I'm like, chickens eat bugs and worms. I'm like,
I know it's so crazy. And the milk, it's crazy. Like, everyone thinks the almond milk and the cashew milk, all these milks are healthy, but if you read the label, there's probably like this, a handful of almonds in there. The rest is gums and fillers and oils that are filled with saturated fats. So they put the oil in there so that, the barista can actually froth the milk. And that's, and then it becomes unhealthy, right? So you have to really be careful with these plant-based milks and maybe try making your own. I make my own oat milk at home, not always, but most of the time. It's just, and then they come up with milk that's, doesn't contain any gums. Well, why did they allow the first one on the shelf in the first place that did contain the gums is beyond me, but that's another story.
Right. Well, and for people who don't like to cook too, there are definitely shortcuts that you can take that will save you time. So you're still, home prepping, and it's good for you, but, you don't have to take an hour to, make a meal. You don't really need to do that anymore. And then when you eat better and you get like the garbage out of your diet and you start to feel better, there's like no incentive to go back to how you were eating before. But you got to get over that hump, It's like, if you can get over that hump and you're like, oh, wow, I feel so much better. I feel lighter.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It takes 45 minutes to get a pizza, let's say, where you can make, this elaborate meal in 45 minutes, So it's, I can teach you even in 15 minutes flat to make a quick, easy, healthy meal that, and you can even make extra so you have leftovers for the next day. That's also key to do, right? For example, if you want to make like a bean salad, you have your beans that you soaked, you cook them up and chop up a bunch of vegetables, carrots, maybe pickles, onion, celery, throw it together with your cooked chickpeas, a little bit of olive oil, good quality olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt, pepper. And you've got like a nice healthy meal with protein and vegetables and your fat. And you have that, let's say, for lunch, and then you bring the rest with you for lunch for a couple of days, kind of thing. So it's really like so quick and easy that you can have a well-balanced meal in minutes.
Well, it may not be on your plan, but I believe that like bacon and chocolate make everything better. So
Right, right. Oh my gosh. And some people have prosciutto on their program, right? And other
Mhm.
people
Yeah,
don't.
and they
It
can't
all
get
depends on,
salt and
but you'll
yeah.
have such a wide variety of foods to choose
Mhm.
from that it's nobody ever gets bored really of it. And I also created an e-recipe book that I send to my clients. So I'm always, on top of that for sure. And I've created a lot of recipes. So if anyone's ever stuck, they always reach out and I'll be able to provide them with a
Mhm.
nice, tasty recipe.
Fantastic. All right, so what I'm going to do is in the comment section, I am going to place your Calendly link because you have a free consultation
Mhm.
session that you give to people. So I'm going to put that in. The ebook that you're talking about, can we get that off of your website?
Actually, on my Instagram account, which is Live Light by Linda as well, you can click on my link in my bio, and then it'll take you to the page to actually have a copy of that e-recipe book. Yes.
Okay, so free book on Instagram. All right, I'm putting that in. And I'm also going to put your website address in case anybody just wants to go there and read more about you.
Wonderful. Yes.
Mhm.
I'd love to connect with you and we'll have a 30-minute chat about your health goals and, put a plan in place to help you exceed those goals.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much today, Linda, for being here and sharing your knowledge about weight loss and really what's required to lose the weight and keep it off for good. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. And thank you for those of you that joined us today. Have a wonderful day and be healthy, be safe.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.